Breaking news right now on Pawn Stars. Chumlee, whose real name is Austin Lee Russell. We've just learned the terms of a plea deal that'll keep him from serving prison time. Rick Harrison's world is crumbling before our eyes. His son sentenced to life, Chumlee tangled in a prison nightmare, and a bitter family war threatening to destroy everything he built. The Pawn Stars empire, once unstoppable, now teeters on the edge of ruin. Tune in as the truth behind Rick's downfall is revealed, and what comes next will shock everyone. The fall of a Vegas dynasty. Rick Harrison, now 59 years old, is drowning in a relentless storm of family disasters and legal fights. What started as whispers about his son receiving a life sentence turned into a grim reality. The Pawn Stars empire, once a money-printing machine, is looking shakier by the day. Just when it seems like things cannot possibly get worse, they do. And in the shadows of a collapsing dynasty, a betrayal emerges that will change everything forever. Pawn Stars was not some lucky break. It was built from scratch by Rick and his father Richard, who was as tough as they came. He understood money, business, and did not tolerate nonsense. Fans respected his straightforward, no-filter approach. When Richard passed away in 2018, the shop lost more than just its founder. It lost its backbone. A lot of people like the history lessons. There's a lot of different aspects to it. A lot of people like the family interaction. Kids love Chumlee. Rick did everything he could to keep things rolling, but trouble was already waiting in the wings, poised to strike. Running a pawn shop in Las Vegas was never glamorous. Late payments, slim margins, and customers bringing in more headaches than valuables made for a daily grind. But Rick had a winning formula: storytelling. He knew that people were not just buying objects. They were buying history, a connection to something bigger. That's what made Pawn Stars a success. The rare, weird items and the even wilder backstories attached to them. Then came the television show in 2009. No one saw it coming, but overnight Rick, his son Corey, and their longtime friend Chumlee became household names. From pirate swords to ancient coins, people loved watching them strike deals. Corey's sharp tongue, Chumlee's goofy antics, and Rick's ability to haggle made the show an instant hit. But fame has a way of twisting things up. Lawsuits stacked up, family feuds exploded, and the behind-the-scenes chaos became impossible to ignore. By 2022, the problems could not be hidden anymore. Rick's own mother, Joanne, dragged him to court over ownership of the shop. She claimed he had tricked her into signing over her share while she was recovering from a coma. He insisted she knew exactly what she was doing. The lawsuit demanded a full accounting of more than $500,000 and even requested a restraining order to keep him from selling off shop assets. As if that wasn't bad enough, the pandemic hit their business like a freight train. Once raking in millions, the shop barely made $37,000 in an entire year. And then there was Chumlee. On screen, he was the lovable clown. Off-screen, he was a magnet for trouble. In 2016, his house was raided during a criminal investigation. The sexual assault charges against him did not stick, but the police found enough drugs and unregistered firearms to charge him with multiple felonies. He managed to dodge prison with a plea deal, but his reputation was permanently wrecked. Fans were stunned, and the show took a heavy hit. Corey wasn't staying out of trouble either. Known for his reckless streak, he got into bar fights and messy legal situations. In 2020, he rented a recreational vehicle for a desert trip, wrecked it, and allegedly refused to pay for damages. The owner claimed he left the vehicle trashed, littered with empty bottles and garbage. It was yet another public embarrassment for the Harrison family. Even the so-called experts featured on the show were not immune to scandal. Johnny Jimenez Jr., a frequent toy expert, was charged in a domestic violence case. Then there was Drew Max, the sports memorabilia guru, who got caught up in a fraud scandal, allegedly authenticating fake collectibles, leading to lawsuits and a serious credibility crisis for the show. As the years passed, fans began noticing something was off. Pawn Stars had lost its magic. The once spontaneous moments felt staged, the negotiations seemed rehearsed, and personal drama overshadowed the history and the deals. What was once an entertaining dive into historical artifacts had turned into a slow-motion car wreck of family betrayals and scandals. Rick tried to expand his empire with Pawn Plaza, a retail complex near the shop, but that venture tanked. The businesses inside blamed him for failing to promote the area properly. Lawsuits followed, and yet another ambitious plan went up in smoke. Meanwhile, the show limped along, but even the most die-hard fans admitted it wasn't what it used to be. The once thriving empire was fading, slipping through Rick's fingers, one misstep at a time. Despite everything, Rick knew one thing for certain: the show would not last forever. He scrambled to secure other investments. Real estate, different business ventures, anything to keep his fortune intact. The shop had seen it all: big dreams, tough losses, and surprising wins. But the next sellers brought a whole new game. Cash, collectibles, and cold-blooded deals. A guy struts in all confident, holding what looks like a 10-pound British note. But oh no, it's not just any bill. It's been defaced by the infamous street artist Banksy. The seller thinks he's got himself a jackpot. The old man takes one look at it, unimpressed. Counterfeit money is what he sees, and he isn't wrong. But the guy insists Banksy's work sells for thousands. The old man isn't having it. To him, it's just vandalized cash. They bring in an expert. Turns out it is real Banksy art, but not exactly a rare find. Value? Maybe a few $100. The seller, dreaming of a grand payday, tries to salvage what he can. He aims for $500. The old man says, "Not a chance." A brutal negotiation later, the guy walks away with $400. Now here's a piece of history. A Navy veteran walks in carrying an old sextant once used on the United States ship Hector, a World War II-era repair ship. The guy's got stories, and the old man loves military history, so there's some common ground. But let's get real, this isn't the 1800s, and nobody's navigating by sextant anymore. The seller wants nearly $400. The old man, wise as ever, knows collectors exist, but they're rare. He lowballs it to $200. The seller fights back, but negotiations are tough when you're facing a seasoned pawn expert. They settle at $265, not bad, but not the big payday the seller hoped for. An old black-and-white panoramic photo of a World War II airfield in Las Vegas sounds cool. The seller walks in sure he's got a relic worth $500. The old man barely flinches. It's interesting, sure, but old doesn't always mean valuable. He offers $100. The seller pushes for $400, but no deal. Lesson learned. Sentimental value doesn't translate to dollar bills in the pawn world. Nothing gets the old man's attention like a Civil War-era gun, the Savage Navy revolver. Funky-looking, rare, but heavy and awkward. Expert says maybe $2,000 tops. Seller wants $1,800. Rick offers $800. They haggle and settle at $1,400. The seller's happy, but the old man still walks away the winner. A signed baseball from the 1951 Yankees. Legends like Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio. Sounds great, but the ball's worn, signatures fading, no paperwork. The expert says it's real but in rough shape. The seller hopes for $3,000. Rick offers $800, explaining that condition is everything. No deal. Then comes a Ghostbusters fan with a homemade proton pack. It's got lights, sounds, everything. Seller wants $2,000. Old man offers $1,000. Seller takes it. Then a 6-foot-tall wooden Indian statue. Seller wants $900. Old man offers $400 and wins again. Then came the art deals. A Picasso ceramic owl vase from the 1940s, pristine condition. Seller wants $35,000. Expert says $25,000 tops. Rick offers $15,000. After haggling, they settle at $17,000. Another Picasso print appears, goat skull on table, appraised at $16,000. Rick offers $1,000 and the seller takes it. Next, 6 Picasso etchings from Lysistrata. Seller wants $5,000. Rick pays $6,000 after negotiation. Another Picasso print from 1968's La Celestine collection shows up, no paperwork, bought years ago for $9,000 on a cruise ship. Expert says it's worth $2,000 to $3,000. Rick offers $1,500. Seller accepts. Finally, two more Picasso etchings, Dove and Poor Roby. Expert confirms they're real but not rare. Rick passes on Dove, offers $650 for Poor Roby, and gets the deal. Was Rick's negotiation a savvy business move, or did he lowball the sellers unfairly? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more intriguing deals and debates.